Welcome back to the Let's Backflip Show happy hour, where we're just going to hang out and talk about pain points that marketers, business owners, and agencies have and how we solve them with consistent story-led video marketing.
Yes.
What are we talking about today?
We are talking about consistent story-led video marketing.
Part of the game that we're playing today is I have the whole list and John has not seen the whole list of what we're talking about.
It is like a game show.
But we talk about it so much, so it's going to be great. So today we're talking, kind of ruminating on how to create videos that convert. So thinking about how to create impactful videos. So just kind of generically, when I say that, what do you think about?
Well, I actually have a less generic and more specific thing. So I don't know if you watched the link that was shared, the Simon Sinek talk. I've seen it before. I've seen this talk before, but it has been a while, and this is a reminder. So Simon Sinek, he has the Start With Why, a lot of great talks. And this particular one, he's kind of outlining.
Where was this shared?
On Slack.
Okay,
yeah, Maria shared it.
Okay.
So it's called the Golden Circle, and I think it's probably just his Start With Why thing. And essentially, if you imagine three circles, and in the middle is why, the next one is how, and the last one is what. And he talks about businesses, talks about Apple, talks about the Wright brothers, and he talks about Martin Luther King Jr. Okay, and why, all of them, why were they such great leaders? Why have they been so successful? Why were they so successful? There were other companies in the space, other leaders at the time of MLK. And basically it's that a lot of us think about the what first. What is it that we do? We make video stuff. How? We have cameras and we edit high quality stuff.
Creative story.
Why? Because people need it,
right.
And so he defines with Apple, they're very strong about we believe that everything should be cutting, I forget what theirs is, whatever it is.
I could probably pull it up real quick.
So that is on my mind because I'm thinking about how when you're talking about consistent story-led video marketing, the why is to communicate why why your business, why do you do this? Why do you believe in this product, in this service, in doing things this way, in creating it the way that you do? That's how you need to communicate to customers, because let's tie this back into video that converts. Why does it convert? Because people they're motivated to make decisions based on that emotion, that gut feeling.
Right.
And if you go backwards, Simon Sinek in his talk talks about if you go backwards, you can understand logically the what. That makes sense. And we even run into this. People are like, that makes a lot of sense. I totally get it.
Yeah.
Your cost makes sense. But I just can't justify it. But if you catch people on the why, and I'm feeling an emotional connection to it, they will work out the justification for themselves. I'm on board with that. I want that. And then they'll try to figure out just how to make it work for their business. Right?
Yeah.
So you want to communicate the why.
That's a really good point. And I'll read the Apple use case here. If they started backwards, it'd be like, we make great computers. The what? They're user-friendly, beautifully designed, and easy to use. Want to buy one? These facts are true. I'm not sold, though. We want to know why. So with everything we do, we aim to challenge the status quo. We aim to think differently. Our products are user-friendly, beautifully designed, and easy to use. We just happen to make great computers. Want to buy one? Yeah, so the reversal of that. And that's also why it's important. And if you're a business owner or a marketing director or an agency owner, with all of this marketing and specifically consistent story-led video marketing, you want to think about that why. Why do you need this? Why do you want to do this? And that's the realization we came to as well when people were like, I need a video for recruitment. And you're like, well, that's a what? Let's talk about the why. What do you need? Do you need to communicate how awesome you are, to share your values, to impress others so you can hire? Okay, if we start with that frame of reference, then we can craft something through the what and the how that serves that why. And like we said in the previous episode, is more of that relational kind of communication. So instead of just being like a video that just tells us what it is, say a video that will, melt somebody's heart or, convince them to change their life. Obviously, that's not what you want for recruitment, but the why of what you're actually trying to do, or your goal being the most important thing. So then starting with why, and then from there being able to extrapolate the how and the what. And with that focus, I think you generally create something that's going to be a lot better than just, I need a recruitment video, so just film some of the people and film the office and be done. It's the same components, but it's not going to have the directionality that when you look at something through that lens of starting with why, or the solution based kind of orientation.
Yeah, and there's something interesting about, because there are opportunities for lower budget product companies to get point of sale, like impulse buys, right? If it's low enough cost and it's just, okay, I don't really need to get into that a lot, because you're going to sell some because people are just like, $10, $5.
But I mean, that's just a different type of content for a different part of the funnel.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So Apple has impulse buys too. It's not a phone, but it's cables or little tags or whatever, but they're still making you aware through filmmaking and those kind of why moments and lifestyle moments. So you're just more receptive when you get that.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the features. Buy now.
Yeah. Well, and maybe it's more that you will then struggle with brand loyalty down the line, because you might get that impulse point of sale buy. And I was going to take it then to the other end of the spectrum. If you think about cars, I was thinking about how Tesla, like I want a Tesla, everyone wants a Tesla. There are other cars on the market now, and there are cheaper ones, and but I'm not even looking at them. I'm not even considering them. I'm not considering a Tesla either. But if I was in that place, I wouldn't even evaluate the other ones. Probably, the brand has done such a good job of telling the story behind it that I have more loyalty there already. I'm just, so again, that's different, like on the more expensive big ticket items.
Well, let's go there. Like, that's so interesting as well, because there's reports of the problems with Tesla, and they are fair kind of criticisms, but there's just this, like there is with Apple, there's just this air about it. And certainly Tesla has done marketing and advertising to that, but also Elon. Like, I feel like there's this sentiment from Elon who, took the space program, NASA and Boeing, and they couldn't do anything. And he's done amazing things for space exploration for a fraction of the cost. He's doing things that Boeing can't. I'm sure you're aware of this, Boeing got some astronauts to the International Space Station, but couldn't get them back. So Elon had to do it, even though Boeing got, I don't know, $3 billion in some deal, and he got one or some fraction of it. Not to mention he has Tesla, right? And he has Starlink. How much have we invested? There's a government organization that's invested tons and tons of money in getting broadband to the nation. And how many people have they linked up? None.
Yeah.
And Elon's the one bringing broadband to North Carolina and stuff. And so all of that, like him helping people and doing amazing, wonderful things, adds to the marketing, kind of the brand equity that we experience with Tesla, which is crazy. So then how do we think of that? How do we now translate that into videos that convert? So we talked about why, and now we're talking about kind of brand equity.
Yeah. So I was thinking, like, it's like funny, because it's like, is it as simple as video that converts is video that makes you feel something? Like, it's just about that simple.
I do like it. Yeah.
Because again, I still think it's not the logic piece.
Yeah.
You can give somebody the logic and they can even agree with you, but they won't act until they feel like acting. They feel like pulling the trigger on that purchase or signing up or whatever it is. So you need to cross that barrier at some point. And if you come at it from the wrong direction, it's just a harder battle. You know, you've got like the logic functioning brain.
Well, it's like you're building your house upside down. You're not starting with the foundation. You're starting with the roof, and then you're like, okay, lift the roof up. Now we're going to put the supports up. And
yeah. So video that converts is video that makes you feel something, and then it doesn't even matter whether you're in the buying cycle right now or not. You feel that, you'll continue to feel that as long as I keep dripping that content out, you know, consistently. And then you'll be ready to buy when you're ready to buy. You can't always control all that. Like that consumer has to have the money, have the, you know, the time or whatever. But you have that engagement, that connection. They just want it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's one of the pithy takeaways is when we're thinking about video that converts, we have to think about video that connects. And how do you connect? Starting with why, having a real emotional appeal somehow. Even if it's, what did we have? We had Red Beats Blue, which was a company who came to us, Thermistore, and their competitor had created a scientific testing video where they showed that their product, the competitor's product, was better than the Thermistore product. And the scientists at Thermistore were like, this is preposterous. Their testing is not sound, and they didn't represent us well, and we have to show them how wrong they were and do our own testing. And they're like, we were going to do our own video, but decided to reach out to you, which was probably the best choice that they made to trust somebody else. And we came back and said, what if instead of going tit for tat with the bully in the playground, what if we just be awesome? You know, like, let's make awesome. Let's just blow them out of the water and do something cool.
So it's the logical proof of here's how our fan stacks up. Here's the specs and how it is actually better than theirs. Here's the drying time, all the logical stuff. And you could do all that and have people be like, oh, that does seem like the one.
Yeah.
What we did is created this like sarcastic, funny, personality driven video and made everybody just feel like this is awesome. And people would say like, this feels like a beer commercial for the restoration industry.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, and you want it now, don't you?
Which was, well, like you said, like the beer commercial for the restoration industry, there's, you know, we kind of have that perspective that everyone's story is awesome, you know, and we figure out how to pull out whatever is awesome and tell that. And I think that's a great kind of anecdote of that idea because, yeah, a restoration fan, a construction fan doesn't seem very interesting or sexy, but there's people and people enjoy comedy and storytelling, and there's just more to that technicality, that technical object, that product, than just the specs or comparing specs. And we showed that through that comedic story, and it resonated.
And you can go comedy, you can also go serious. And this particular client, we actually got the chance to do both with them. So we did these two over-the-top comedy, one sarcastic camera talking one like 80s action ninja.
Well, and we got the second one because they said, if you guys hit this many views with this, we will do another one. And we blew past that.
And then we did get to do another one that was actually more on the emotional kind of serious sentimental side, which was after Hurricane, which one? Harvey.
That sounds right.
We went down to Florida and we shot, and it was kind of like channeling. The best quick analogy I can come up with is like the Home Depot commercials where, you know, it's like, let's do this is their thing, which is genius marketing too. I just feel that every time I watch those commercials, it's like, let's do this. I'm like, yes, let's do this. Next home project. And we're like, oh, we could channel that, you know, that connection to like doing work, like doing good work, doing physical work. But then also in that situation, we were like showing the community that was needing help. Like all these places are flooded out and they needed like things dried out so they don't mold and whatever. So again, just connecting, you know, the why, you know, what is it? What's the purpose of this in the end? Um, Drying something out quickly is not quite as motivating as the emotional appeal of like, these people need your help, you know?
Yeah, well, and that's so continuing construction and the let's do this, like think about two brands. If you're in Wisconsin, think about Home Depot and think about Menards. Which one do you just feel better about?
That Menards is closer to my house.
But when you think about the brand and you think about the
Yeah,
messaging,
yeah.
like it's Home Depot, you know,
Yeah,
you're like because they're selling lifestyle.
Yes.
The let's do this idea.
Let's do this is more motivating than save big money.
Save big money at Menards. Today we've got a sale on paper towel.
Yeah.
Which might get a paper towel sale if you need it. But when you think about the brand, when you think about purchasing online and you're comparing and you're going to come back and you're gonna want to go somewhere, you're going to want to consume that brand that has the brand equity built up. Now there's the practicality and the closeness, right?
Yeah.
But the kind of simple fact of the matter is that brand that connects is the one that will convert.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and to that point, I do have Menards branded power tools. Or no, not Menards. I said that wrong. I have Home Depot branded power tools.
Why?
I just liked it better. I felt better about the brand.
Yeah. That makes sense.
The Rigid brand is Menards.
Okay.
Or gosh, the Rigid brand is Home Depot's branded tool line.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I didn't want the Menards ones.
It makes sense. It's brand equity is what it is. So that's a little bit more about how we create videos that convert. You got to think about how you create something that will connect. So start there. We do have more tips on our website. If you go to letsbackflip.com/guide, there's a free guide for consistent story-led video marketing. It's great. We're giving away all the secrets, all the stuff we've learned over 17 years and how you can implement that today. And if you want some help, we're here to help you and be your partner, whether you are a business owner or a marketing manager or an agency owner, somebody who is in charge of marketing for your organization or business. We're here to help. We can do it for you, or we can do it with you, whatever you want, or you can do it for free with your guide. That's what we got. Like, subscribe. Next week, we're going to talk about why professional video matters. So there's going to be some tips there on actually things that you can do, even if you don't have the production value or production quality that a professional has. So tune in.